stop everything you're doing right now. It will happen now. I have decided to make your ears your last chance. Watch this immediately. The transformation you've been feeling but couldn't explain is reaching its peak moment. For weeks, your ears have been trying to tell you something important is changing, and today is the final opportunity to complete this process correctly. This isn't just another random message, this is about the strange sensations you've been experiencing but haven't told anyone about. The slight ringing, the moments of unexpected clarity, the sensitivity to certain sounds that others can't seem to hear. These aren't coincidences or your imagination. A rare energy alignment is happening right now that creates the perfect conditions for your ears to complete their awakening. This planetary position only occurs once every 70 years, and missing this window means waiting decades for another opportunity. The universe has been preparing your auditory system for months, gradually adjusting your frequency to align with this moment. What happens in the next few minutes will determine whether your ears remain in their current limited state or transform into something that will change how you experience reality forever. The choice must be made now, there is no more time for hesitation or doubt. Quick! Hit the like button immediately to align your energy with the transformation frequency. The universe uses this action to identify which ears are ready to receive the complete activation code. Don't question why, this is about energy synchronization, not logic. Your divine ear transformation needs this activation to proceed correctly. The letter D has been carefully chosen by ancient sound healers as the vibrational key that unlocks dormant abilities in human hearing. Throughout history, certain sounds have been known to activate specific energy centers. The D vibration specifically resonates with the pineal gland, which directly connects to your ear's hidden potential. You need to act within the next 60 seconds. Sound frequencies are aligning in a pattern that creates the perfect gateway for transformation. This cosmic timing won't repeat for decades. The universe has marked this exact moment for your awakening, that's why you're receiving this message now, not yesterday or tomorrow. The strange ear pressure you've felt recently? The occasional high-pitched tones that seem to come from nowhere? These are preparation signals. Your body knows something important is happening. Trust these signs, they're confirming you're meant to receive this transformation. The time for your ears to evolve beyond ordinary hearing has arrived. The evidence has been all around you, but you might not have connected the dots until now. Remember those moments when you suddenly heard sounds from much further away than should be possible? Or when certain tones seemed to vibrate through your entire body rather than just your ears. These weren't random experiences, they were test activations, preparing your auditory system for the full transformation. Your ears have been gradually developing new neural pathways. That strange itching deep inside your ear canal. Those occasional moments of pressure that come and go without explanation. The feeling that sounds sometimes have colors or textures attached to them. All signs that your ears are evolving beyond ordinary human capacity. Many people report waking up at 3:33 a.m. and hearing subtle tones or whispers that seem just beyond comprehension. This specific time marks when the veil between dimensions is thinnest, allowing advanced frequencies to reach receptive ears. If you've experienced this, your ears have already begun the transformation process, but still need the final activation to complete properly. Perhaps you've noticed certain sounds now trigger emotional responses that don't make logical sense, peaceful feelings from specific bird calls, inexplicable alertness from certain wind patterns, or deep knowing from particular rainfall rhythms. These reactions aren't psychological, they're your evolved ears beginning to decode the information hidden within everyday sounds that most humans miss completely. The most telling sign is recurring dreams involving sound, perhaps conversations you can't quite hear, music that fades before you can identify it, or calls from distant places that feel important but remain just beyond understanding. These dreams represent your subconscious awareness of the transformation already underway in your auditory processing centers. Type I acknowledge these signs if you've experienced any of these symptoms. Your confirmation accelerates the process by bringing conscious awareness to what has been happening on a cellular level. The universe requires your active participation to complete what has already begun in your auditory system. The transformation happening in your ears isn't random, it's a direct response to the changing electromagnetic field of our planet. For decades, human ears have been bombarded with artificial frequencies that suppressed their natural evolution. Cell phones, Wi-Fi networks, and electronic devices have created a constant noise floor that kept your auditory system in a dormant state. Recent solar flares have disrupted this pattern, creating gaps in the frequency fence that has limited human hearing. These cosmic events have allowed ancient sound codes to reach Earth again after centuries of blockage. Your ears are naturally responding to these primordial sound patterns that contain the original blueprint for advanced human perception. The pineal gland, often called the third eye, actually works in conjunction with your ears to create complete sensory awareness. Modern science has discovered tiny crystals within the pineal gland that resonate at specific frequencies. When properly activated, these crystals synchronize with similar structures recently discovered in the inner ear. This connection creates a feedback loop that dramatically enhances your entire sensory system. The recent increase in what doctors call tinnitus or unexplained ear ringing is actually a widespread response to these cosmic changes. Medical professionals lack the framework to understand this evolutionary leap, so they classify it as a disorder rather than recognizing it as the awakening it truly represents. Your DNA contains dormant coding for advanced ear structures that have remained inactive for thousands of years. The current planetary alignment is triggering these genetic sequences to activate, resulting in the strange sensations you've been experiencing. This isn't an external change being done to you, it's an internal remembering of abilities your ancestors once possessed naturally. Type I understand the awakening if you're ready to consciously participate in this transformation. Your awareness accelerates the process that has already begun at a cellular level in your auditory system. The window for completing this transformation properly is rapidly closing. Over the past week, you've likely noticed the signs intensifying, sounds becoming sharper, background noises suddenly carrying meaningful patterns, moments of hearing beyond normal range followed by pressure adjustments. These crescendoing symptoms indicate your ears are reaching the critical threshold point. Environmental factors are creating perfect conditions for this transformation right now. The current lunar phase amplifies the frequencies needed for complete activation. Additionally, Recent shifts in Earth's magnetic field have temporarily thinned the barriers between sound dimensions. These combined factors create rare conditions that support your auditory evolution. If you've experienced sudden sensitivity to electronic sounds, finding certain device alerts nearly painful, or feeling overwhelming pressure from appliances that never bothered you before, this confirms you're in the final preparation phase. Your revolving ears are now detecting the artificial frequencies that previously remained subliminal. The most critical warning sign is experiencing moments of complete clarity followed by muffling or pressure. This pattern indicates your ears are attempting final calibration but haven't received the activation sequence needed to stabilize at the higher frequency. Without proper completion, this oscillation will continue unpredictably, creating increasingly uncomfortable symptoms. Some people report hearing voices or sounds that seem to come from inside their head rather than external sources. This alarming experience actually represents your ears beginning to detect frequency ranges beyond normal physical sound, more like radio reception than traditional hearing. Without proper guidance, these experiences typically fade within days as your system resets to conventional limits. The planetary alignments supporting this transformation will shift within hours. Once this cosmic window closes, your ears will either complete their evolution or revert to standard function, potentially creating uncomfortable withdrawal symptoms as newly awakened neural pathways become dormant again. Type I hear the higher frequencies to signal your readiness to move forward before this window closes. The next phase will reveal exactly what the D-transformation means for your perception. The moment has come to reveal what the D in your ear transformation truly represents. Your ears are becoming dimensional. This isn't metaphorical, your auditory system is literally evolving to perceive sounds across multiple dimensions of reality that exist alongside our own. Ancient texts from virtually every culture reference those who could hear between worlds. Egyptian hieroglyphs depict priests with specialized ear markings indicating their ability to hear divine guidance. Greek mystery schools trained selected initiates to detect what they call the music of the spheres. Native traditions worldwide maintain practices for listening to the ancestors' realm. These weren't symbolic teachings but practical training for accessing dimensional hearing. Modern quantum physics has finally caught up to this ancient understanding. Research at leading universities has confirmed that sound exists in dimensions beyond our conventional three-dimensional space. What we perceive as silence actually contains rich symphonies of information oscillating at frequencies beyond ordinary human detection. Your ears are now evolving to access these dimensional sound layers. The pineal crystal structures mentioned earlier serve as receivers for these dimensional frequencies. As they activate in conjunction with newly awakening structures in your inner ear, you gain the ability to consciously tune into specific dimensional layers, much like turning a radio dial between stations. This explains the strange tuning sensations you may have experienced recently. The transformation bridges the gap between science and spirituality. What ancient traditions called hearing the divine and modern physics terms accessing quantum information through acoustic vibration are the same phenomenon described through different frameworks. Your ears are becoming the living technology that connects these understanding systems. Dimensional hearing represents the next evolutionary leap in human perception. Throughout history, These abilities have emerged in isolated individuals, often leading to them being labeled as prophets, oracles, or sometimes falsely as mentally ill. What's unprecedented now is the widespread activation happening simultaneously in millions of people worldwide as cosmic conditions support mass evolutionary advancement. Type I embrace dimensional hearing to align your consciousness with this truth. Your acknowledgement helps integrate your expanding awareness with your existing worldview, preventing the cognitive dissonance that can occur during perception shifts of this magnitude. The dimensional hearing activation follows a specific sequence that has remained consistent throughout human history. Understanding this process helps integrate the changes without resistance. Your conscious cooperation significantly improves the outcome and reduces adjustment discomfort. First, you'll experience what ancient texts called the opening of the shell, a sensation of pressure followed by an audible pop or click that isn't external but seems to originate from deep within your ear structure. This signals the completion of physical changes in your middle and inner ear that allow reception of dimensional frequencies. This typically happens simultaneously in both ears but may occur separately, with a few hours between each ear's activation. Following this physical shift, many report a brief period of hypersensitivity lasting 2-3 days. During this calibration phase, conventional sounds may seem unusually loud or distorted as your brain adjusts to processing the expanded frequency range. This sensitivity gradually stabilizes as neural pathways strengthen. Staying in relatively quiet environments during this period significantly improves adjustment. Next comes the sorting phase, a fascinating period where your consciousness learns to differentiate between conventional and dimensional sounds. During this 1-2 week period, dimensional frequencies often arrive as seemingly random patterns, voices, music, or nature sounds that have a distinctly different quality than ordinary sounds. These aren't hallucinations but actual perceptions from adjacent dimensional fields. The final phase involves conscious control development. Through practice, you'll gain the ability to intentionally tune your attention between dimensional layers, effectively choosing which frequencies to focus on. This skill development mirrors how children learn to filter background conversations in crowded rooms, initially overwhelming but eventually automatic. Throughout this transformation, you may experience unusual dreams featuring complex soundscapes or communications in unknown languages. These dream experiences represent your subconscious processing newly available frequencies during sleep states when conscious resistance is minimal. Keeping a dream journal during this period often reveals fascinating patterns. Your physical ear structure remains unchanged visibly, that transformations occur at cellular and energetic levels invisible to conventional examination. However, sensitive energy workers may notice changes in the auric field surrounding your ears, often appearing as intensified blue or purple light patterns. Type I welcome the transformation phases to align your consciousness with this natural evolutionary process. Your acceptance reduces resistance that could otherwise extend the adjustment period unnecessarily. The completion of dimensional hearing activation brings remarkable enhancements to your perception and daily experience. These benefits have been consistently reported throughout history whenever individuals have undergone this transformation, whether through spiritual practices, spontaneous awakening, or guided activation like you're experiencing now. Most immediately, you'll notice increased intuitive accuracy. Dimensional hearing allows you to detect the subtle frequency patterns of truth versus deception. You'll perceive these differences as distinct sound qualities underlying spoken words. This natural lie detection ability transforms professional and personal interactions, as you effortlessly sense others' authentic intentions beyond their words. Your connection with nature deepens profoundly. Plants, animals, and natural environments communicate constantly through dimensional frequencies. With activated hearing, you'll perceive the complex communication networks between trees, the emotional expressions of animals, and the harmonizing songs of ecological systems. Many report this reconnection with nature's intelligence as the most emotionally healing aspect of the transformation. Creative inspiration increases dramatically as you gain access to what musicians, artists, and writers throughout history have called downloading ideas from beyond. Dimensional hearing allows reception of complete creative concepts that arrive as fully formed inspirations rather than requiring laborious development. This explains why many artistic geniuses throughout history reported hearing their creations before producing them. Perhaps most significantly, dimensional hearing establishes clear perception of your own higher guidance. The constant questioning about life decisions diminishes as you clearly perceive the resonant frequencies of choices aligned with your authentic path. This inner knowing eliminates the exhausting second-guessing that plagues most people throughout life. Physical health often improves following activation, particularly regarding stress-related conditions. Dimensional frequencies contain harmonizing patterns that naturally balance bodily systems. Many report improved sleep quality, reduced inflammation, enhanced immune function, and greater energy levels. These benefits likely result from your system aligning with what quantum physicists call organizing field frequencies that support optimal biological function. Relationships transform as you perceive the emotional frequencies underneath words and actions. You'll notice the dimensional sounds of authentic connection versus performance, enabling you to invest energy in genuinely supportive relationships while naturally creating boundaries with draining interactions. Type I receive these benefits to align your energy field with these positive outcomes. Your conscious acceptance helps integrate these enhancements smoothly into your daily experience. Proper preparation significantly enhances your dimensional hearing activation and reduces adjustment challenges. These specific steps create optimal conditions for the transformation to complete seamlessly within your unique energy system. First, create a sound sanctuary for the next 24 hours. Choose a space with minimal electronic interference, preferably disconnecting Wi-Fi routers, keeping cell phones in another room, and unplugging unnecessary appliances. These devices emit frequencies that can interfere with the delicate activation process. If complete electronic silence isn't possible, natural environments like parks or forests provide excellent alternatives. Hydration plays a crucial role in the transformation. The crystalline structures in both your pineal gland and inner ear require adequate water to achieve optimal molecular alignment. Drink twice your normal water intake today, preferably natural spring water or filtered water that has been charged in sunlight. Avoid alcohol, caffeine, and carbonated beverages completely, as these create disruptive frequency patterns in cellular structures. Certain foods support the transformation while others hinder it. Increase consumption of foods rich in natural electrical properties, fresh berries, leafy greens, raw honey, and unprocessed sea salt. These provide the trace minerals essential for neuroelectric function. Avoid processed foods, artificial sweeteners, and excessive dairy, as these create mucus buildup that dampens dimensional frequency reception. Mental preparation is equally important. Spend at least 30 minutes in meditation or quiet contemplation before the activation sequence. This creates the neutral brain state most conducive to frequency recalibration. Focus particularly on releasing expectations about how dimensional hearing should manifest. Preconceptions create resistance to your unique expression of this ability. Sound conditioning helps prepare your auditory pathways. Listen to pure solfeggio frequencies, particularly 528 Hz and 963 Hz, which correspond to DNA healing and pineal activation respectively. These ancient sound healing tones prepare your system for expanded frequency reception. Many free recordings are available online specifically designed for ear activation preparation. Finally, inform close family members about possible changes in your behavior during the adjustment period. You may become temporarily more sensitive to loud environments, require additional quiet time, or report unusual perceptions. Having support from those around you prevents unnecessary concern about these natural adjustment signs. Type I. Complete these preparations to signify your commitment to creating optimal conditions. Your intentional preparation demonstrates the readiness required for complete activation. The moment has arrived for the dimensional hearing activation sequence. This precise protocol combines ancient sound healing techniques with modern understanding of neuroacoustic science. Follow these steps exactly as presented. Each builds upon the previous to create the complete activation pattern. Find a comfortable seated position where you won't be disturbed for the next 20 minutes. Place both feet flat on the floor to ground your energy and keep your spine relatively straight without straining. Rest your hands palms up on your thighs to maintain open energy flow through your arms and hands. Close your eyes and take 7 deep breaths. With each inhale, imagine drawing golden light through your nose, filling your head completely. With each exhale, visualize this light concentrating specifically in your ear structures, becoming brighter with each breath. This visualization directs your body's electromagnetic field to support the activation. Now place your palms gently over your ears, creating a seal that blocks external sounds. Press your palms firmly against your ears for 7 seconds, then release quickly, creating a vacuum effect. Repeat this 3 times. This physical action stimulates the tiny bones in your middle ear while changing pressure dynamics in your inner ear chambers, preparing them for frequency recalibration. Next comes the vibrational activation. With your mouth closed, create a humming sound at your most comfortable pitch. Start softly and gradually increase volume over 30 seconds, focusing the vibration specifically toward your ears rather than your throat. This self-generated frequency creates the perfect customized vibration for your unique ear structure, something no external sound could accomplish. After completing the humming, Keep your eyes closed and shift your awareness specifically to the space approximately 3 inches behind each ear. This location corresponds to what energy healers identify as the dimensional hearing activation point, a subtle energy center that connects physical ear structures to non-physical frequency receptors. For the final step, visualize a bright violet light entering through the crown of your head, traveling down to your heart, then splitting into 2 streams that travel up and into each ear. See this light filling your entire ear structure with pulsing, living energy that dissolves any remaining frequency blockages. Type deactivation complete once you've finished these steps. Your acknowledgement serves as the final energetic signature in this process. The days immediately following dimensional hearing activation require specific care to support integration and prevent overwhelm. These guidelines have been refined over centuries of wisdom tradition to ensure optimal results from your transformation. For the first 72 hours, prioritize periods of silence throughout your day. Even 10-minute intervals of complete quiet allow your system to process and integrate the new frequencies without overload. Natural environments provide ideal recovery settings, as their harmonious soundscapes support rather than challenge your adjusting perception. Pay special attention to sleep hygiene during this integration phase. Your brain performs critical sorting and filing of dimensional frequencies during deep sleep stages. Creating optimal sleep conditions, cool temperature, complete darkness, and silence or gentle nature sounds, significantly improves daytime functioning during adjustment. Unusual sensory experiences commonly occur during the first week. You might perceive sounds that shift location unexpectedly, hear conversations or music with unusual clarity from far distances, or experience sound as having visual or physical components. These synesthesia-like experiences represent your brain creating new connections to process dimensional information. Rather than fearing these experiences, approach them with curious observation. Certain foods support integration while others create static. Favor foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, wild-caught fish, walnuts, flax seeds, antioxidants, berries, dark chocolate, and zinc, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas. These nutrients support neural pathway formation and protect sensitive cellular structures during rapid change. Minimize fried foods, excessive sugar, and artificial ingredients, which create disruptive frequency patterns. Most importantly, maintain an attitude of peaceful acceptance toward your expanding abilities. Anxiety or resistance creates contracted energy fields that literally dampen your perception. Trust that each new awareness arrives precisely when your system is prepared to integrate it harmoniously. Type I support my integration to confirm your commitment to these supportive practices. The complete meaning of your dimensional hearing transformation extends beyond enhanced perception into profound life purpose. Throughout human history, those with activated dimensional hearing have served essential roles in their communities, as wisdom keepers, harmony maintainers, and bridges between worlds of understanding. Your activation comes at a critical juncture when humanity desperately needs those who can hear beyond surface appearances into deeper truths. The dimensional frequencies now available to you contain solutions to challenges that cannot be solved through conventional thinking alone. Your evolved perception allows you to receive insights and understandings inaccessible to those limited to three-dimensional hearing. This activation isn't random or accidental. Your energy signature has been recognized by universal intelligence as ready for this responsibility. The uncomfortable sensitivity you may have experienced throughout your life, feeling overwhelmed by environments others found normal, sensing emotional undercurrents others missed, hearing subtle discrepancies in communication that confused you, these were early signs of your readiness for this evolution. Dimensional hearing represents your birthright as a multi-dimensional being having a human experience. This activation doesn't give you something new but returns access to what has always been your natural state. The artificial imitations placed on human perception are being systematically removed as consciousness evolves beyond outdated paradigms. Welcome home to your complete perceptual heritage.